Okay.
Hi, this is Luann Worley with Rockin Book Reviews, and I'm so pleased today to be here with a new upcoming author, Ivan Tu.
Thanks for inviting me.
It's a joy having you. And Ivan, tell us a little bit about yourself, what it was like growing up in California.
California is always a sunny state. It can be really high paced, a lot of competition among students and peers. It's a race right here in California. Everyone's trying to get the best job, go to the best school. But for me, I kind of wanted to take a step back and explore beyond the rat race, try to expand my horizon into writing a book, specifically art and poetry writing. I did graduate in California with a degree in finance, but I am hoping to support my dream of becoming a full-time author and artist one day with my day job in semiconducting.
You teach piano lessons part-time, right?
Yeah.
So how many years have you played piano?
I've been playing for about 14 years. I play mostly classical music. Haven't gotten a chance to really explore songwriting, but hopefully one day I can also get a chance to explore that avenue. Yeah.
So your poetry should lead right into songwriting.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I guess I haven't really explored my vocals, because I never gotten trained to sing or anything like that.
Well, there's plenty of time.
Yeah, I did try playing the guitar at one point, also just as a side, trying to pick it up as a hobby. But I don't think I'm a great singer by any means. Yeah.
Well, I know years ago when I started my son, well, he wanted to be a drummer. And the teacher I went to have him take drum lessons from told me that he wouldn't take a student unless they'd had at least a year of piano, because that was the basis, for all other music. So looks like you went the right avenue.
I guess my mom picked the right instrument for me.
Oh, okay. Were you difficult trying to get to practice?
Oh, of course. Being a 9-year-old kid, we just want to play video games and I don't know, collect Pokemon or what.
How did she get you to do it? I gave up. I couldn't get my son to practice.
I think it was like an exchange kind of thing. If you put in this much time for piano, I'll give you this much time to play your video games or something like that.
Yeah, I should have thought of it.
We really like that reward incentive, right? But at one point it just kind of clicked. I started enjoying the music I played more because I could actually play it rather than always stumble, So I think there's at one point, once you reach the tip of the learning curve, you just gradually grow a passion for it. It's kind of the same thing as for art and poetry as it did for me.
I think it's kind of at that year mark, isn't it, usually?
I would say 1 to 2 years. It really depends on your own confidence in your abilities, probably. Yeah.
Well, A Daydream a Day is your new debut of poetry and prose. Tell us a little about it.
Well, it's an anthology of poems and illustrations that are meant to instill positivity in young adults. It helps them find direction in life and hopefully find happiness in what they do. I was encouraged to create this because I was lost during the start of quarantine. I didn't know what to do with my life, and I would really say I hit a rock bottom point in my life. I was like, I'm not sure what I want to do, but my mother gave me the inspiration. She helped me connect the dots when I couldn't find direction in life. I had merely scraps of writings and scrap papers of sketches. I just didn't know how to put 2 and 2 together. And then I was sort of telling her about other authors that inspired me, like Shel Silverstein or Rupi Kaur, some of those authors who create drawings with illustrations, and it just kind of came together once I got a tablet, an iPad, to start sketching with a digital pencil.
So how did you go about getting it published?
Well, I put in a lot of work to studying KDP, like Kindle Direct Publishing, and studying how to get it into independent bookstores. like through Bookshop. I would say I'm pretty savvy at using the internet. So I'm purchasing a lot of books from Amazon and following like a self-publishing checklist kind of website. Most importantly, I found a bunch of contractors from this website called Reedsy, Reedsy. Yeah, they helped me get a book design done, helped me with create a marketing plan, some editing. Yeah, that's how I put it together, really.
And what's your future plans?
Well, hopefully I would like to continue writing and drawing books. One day I would love to sustain myself just doing that as a full-time career rather than also needing a day job. I would also like to learn how to paint with my art skills, maybe compose music like I was talking about earlier.
I was going to say, do not let that music go by the wayside.
Definitely, I see music as another language that I want to speak for my entire life.
I was just thinking when you said you didn't think you could sing, that's what Barry Manilow said years ago. And he became a great singer, and really he used to write music for other people, but he never had confidence in himself to sing. But look what he did. So you can do it.
Yeah, well, maybe I can get an instructor or some.
There's some really great ones around. Okay, is there anything you'd like to say before we close?
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about what got you into creating your website, your book review website, and tell me a little about yourself. I really
okay. I wasn't expecting this.
Oh, okay.
I've had some health issues through the last several years, and I found that the only thing I felt worthwhile was reading. I could at least read. I would lay there and read, and I read book after book, and I enjoy reading. And my daughters came to me one day and said, "This is ridiculous. Why don't you start a blog?" And I said, what are you talking about? And they said, "A review blog." So they gave me the urge to start, and I started researching it. And I mentioned it to my son who lives in California, and he has a close friend who designs websites. So he said, "Mom, I'll do this for you because you want it to look good." And so he hired his friend to design my book blog. But then I had problems with WordPress. I had my site crash through WordPress.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Times in 8 years.
And you can't access it, right? It's like almost closed off to you. You can't access
it. It would come up blank, or it would come up another time. It would come up all squiggly and weird looking. And
I know the feeling.
Yes. And I didn't know what to do with it. So I have since been fortunate enough to have a couple other family members and friends come in who knew someone who could help develop a website. And so I had to redo it twice. Well, now my new website that my daughter, who graduated from web programming and design, she created the most fantastic website. Well, blog site for me. She's going to work on a website too, but that's how I came to get into reviewing. I love helping people get their work out there, and I love people. So it was a perfect fit for me. I love to promote, and I love to get acquainted with people, and I love to read.
Well, it's a very family-friendly site. I love that. I love that niche that you're trying to fill. Yeah.
I hope to always have something everybody will like on my blog site at all times.
One more question. Do you have any sort of advice for someone like me who's trying to get noticed by the community?
I know it is a little bit expensive at first, but I strongly, unless you have hours that you don't know what to do with, I strongly recommend finding a good publicist. It takes hours and hours of work getting out there, connecting with people. I mean, this is my 9th blogversary. And I have made a lot of connection, but it's over 9 years period of time that I've met a lot of different people. And now people are approaching me the last few years because it takes a lot of time and a lot of work. And you need a good editor, and then you need a good website. You probably could do your own if you're computer savvy, but be sure that if you hire someone to help, that it's someone who really knows book and literature and art, because our sites are different than the normal. You need specific things that most people who are in web development do not know about. So
would you recommend me to continue searching for book reviewers like you, or where would you recommend, like, what do you mean by a publisher?
As much as you can get out there. Your book will be in my blog hop. That is tremendous because all these blogs participate, and all their followers get on, and so that they will look and see and read about your book and you. And so you'll get a lot of exposure like that. The main thing is exposure. Get out there, let people see and know, because as I'm sure are finding out, the media business is extremely competitive. There's billions of books out there, and very few reviewers per percentage of books. And so we do need more reviewers. So if you know anybody who's likes to read books, encourage them to be a reviewer. But art and books and stuff, you just really need to contact bookstores and schools. And you have a lot of the authors are going into the school system, and they have their books there, so that when they're through with their presentation, if anybody wants to buy books, they're there and they can sell them. That's key to thing. But the main thing I would recommend is a good editor and a good publicist.
You wouldn't be considered a publicist, or you would be considered?
Review blogs are really good for publicity, but a publicist works more individually. He or she will work for you, for your book. Whereas reviewers and bloggers, we cover a wide territory. And so it all helps, but a good publicist will know which reviewers to get in contact with, and which avenues to go to get you out there. And it's just like going through publishers, you might have to go through a few publicists before one will say, yeah, I'll take that.
Sure, yeah.
But I really, really can't emphasize enough. You need to really have a good, attractive blog site or website, and tell about your art, tell about your book, and so that people connect with you and your work. And then they can also have links of where they can go to buy it. You have to use every avenue available out there. Ever since they came out with self-publishing, the industry has been overwhelmed. And then self-publishers do have it harder because you have to go out and find your own publicists and so forth. You don't have that padding around the book publishers, but then you have also more freedom. We hope that you will all search the universe through books. Goodbye now.